What's going on, everybody? Back at it. Joshua Tree is back at it. I am so excited to be here with you guys right now. I am so excited to be present with you guys right now. I just feel like it's been a minute since I've been able to connect with y'all. It's been a minute. It's 2025, yo. We here now. What? What? Thank you, everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you for any newcomers who love the channel, love the content I'm putting out. I do this for y'all. This year I'm taking a different approach. I am looking to wring out my towel, all the wisdom, all the knowledge, all of the information I've accumulated over the past 8 to 9 years. I plan on putting it all out on this platform. uh and you guys know how I rock, you know how I do. For people who are new, stay tuned. We got a great video for today, and we're just gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it, right? So today we're gonna talk about empathetic protection, or protection for the empaths. All right. So if you're a person who identifies with being an empath and you struggle with protecting yourself, you struggle with, not knowing how to have discernment or even release the energy, this video is definitely for you. Also, people who are water signs, I find that a lot of people who are empaths are water signs. So if you're a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, this video would be for you as well. And I've been at this work, let's just say energy work, for almost 8, 9 years. So I came across a lot of things, and I found out a lot of things that's correlated with the empathic energy or empath. So I'm definitely going to share some gems with you guys tonight. So let's get to it. Let's get to the root of why you may be an empathic person, or a person who identifies as being an empath. So along my journey, I discovered that a partial reason of why I am an empath, because the thing about being an empath is that it does come from naturally helpful. You love to help people. And so for people who don't know what an empath is someone who basically who can embody other people's emotions, other people's physical pain, and also you can receive information and receive sensations and energy from your environment around you. So I like to look at empaths as a walking, talking sponge. You're literally a sponge, and you're receiving, or you're picking up a lot of energy around you, whether it's interactions with people or in the physical environment. Okay. So just to make it real clear, empaths are walking, talking sponges. Okay. That's what we are. All right. And I do identify with being an empathic person because I am deep into energy work, or healing work as well. I do help people with healing as well. So it is very beneficial. Being an empath doesn't make, it's not negative. All right. I know a lot of people have a negative connotation towards being an empath. It is an actual superpower. I do highly suggest that people who deem an empath to try to get into some type of healing services, something where you can support people intentionally versus utilizing it for friends and family and coworkers and people, strangers and things like that, because you're just picking up energy for no apparent reason, and you're not utilizing to the best of its ability. So now that we got the definition out the way, let's get deeper into it. What is the root cause of becoming an empathic person or empath? What I discovered is an empath is someone who has suffered from some type of childhood trauma. Okay. So what does that mean? When you were a child, all right, you probably had a dysfunctional family member or a dysfunctional sibling, someone that you were around, that you honored, that you needed some type of attention from. So let's just use your parent for example. Say you had a parent who they was very emotional, neglectful, physically neglectful. They weren't providing the needs that you needed at the age that you were at as a child. And as a result, what naturally happens is you try to find a way to get your needs met. So say for instance, you have a mom, your mother was, say, completely, she did not pay attention to anything you were doing. She did not feed you. She did not validate you. She did not give you no type of attention because she was emotionally disturbed. She was emotionally unstable. So what naturally happens is you develop a behavior to start to take care of your sibling or your parent In this particular case, we're talking about your mother, right? So you try to start taking, you start to be more mindful and more considerate and start taking care of your mother. And as a result, this starts to create a people pleaser behavior. It starts to create a caretaker archetype type energy, and it starts to create an empath. So empaths are so thoughtful, they're so helpful, and they are so attentive of taking care of people that so much so they start to embody the other person's emotions because they not only is it like because it is part of intuition, not only that but also is because this is how they feel that their needs are going to have to be met by trying to support their caregiver or whoever, let's say the mama, and by paying attention to her nature, paying attention to her emotional instability, what the empath does is tries to make them feel better, give their all to them to try to get their needs met. So most empaths do not validate or honor their needs. They're always looking to support other people's needs. That's why a lot of times they're always burnt out because they're always trying to give to other people because subconsciously you're still trying to seek validation. You're still trying to seek love from your caregiver, your mother in this particular case, or your sibling, etc. So by you not getting that particular type of love, that particular type of attention, right? You do it in environments, people, places, and things, strangers, friends, coworkers. You do it in those spaces because you're still seeking that unmet need. So if you're an empath, like I said, it's not a negative thing. But if you're an empath, know that this is part of a childhood trauma that you have experienced. And so for your needs to get met, you have to support or take care of other people so you can feel that form of validation in return. So let me give you an example just a little bit deeper on a personal story that I realized because I went through this last year and was doing a lot of childhood inner child work to get through this. I also, as a child, went through experiences where I had certain relatives in my household who I wanted a lot of attention from. They wasn't giving it to me. And partially the reason why they wasn't giving me that attention is because they was emotionally unstable. And so what I started to do is I started to pay attention of how can I not upset this person? How can I not you know, make them mad for whatever reason, or how can I create a safe day or a good day for them by paying attention to their needs. And by me constantly paying attention to their needs, I started neglecting my own because I knew at the end of the day I had a certain need that I needed to be fulfilled, and only I was looking for them to give it to me. And so I was like, how can I change up my behavior, aka how can I adopt the people pleaser behavior to where I can appease whatever needs that they have and completely neglect my own. So over a period of time, a lot of empaths are always draining or getting drained because they never keep their cup full. They're always looking to fill other people's cup and they never cater to their own needs. They don't even honor their needs. You ask an empath, what are your physical needs, your personal needs, your emotional needs? They have a struggle with explaining it because they never had to focus on their needs. They had to always focus on other people's needs to get their needs met. Okay. So understand that being an empathic person stems from some type of childhood trauma. Now, there's other, like I said, there's other traits to it. Naturally, you probably, for instance, you might be a Pisces. Pisces are naturally empathic. Cancers are naturally empathic. Okay. So it's not always just a childhood trauma thing, but it's a great degree of it, and it's other aspects to it that contribute to it, right? So understand that you have to heal that part of yourself. You have to do some type of inner child work. I do specialize in inner child work. By the way, I am an inner child coach. I do help people with their inner child. So I do suggest if you're looking to heal this part of yourself or any aspect of yourself from your childhood, please reach out. But understand that you are seeking love and validation from people. And so to receive that, You extend yourself, overly extend yourself to get that type of validation rather than just validating yourself. All right. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about, right? Step two, let's just call it a step two here. Address your beliefs. Address your beliefs. And what I mean by that is most empaths have this idea of always wanting to help people and always wanting to save people and always want to rescue people, aka super save a hoe, right? Super save a hoe. Empaths want to save every fucking body and do not save themselves first. That's big. That's important. Okay. So you need to address your behavior of how you are supporting people being an empath because your behaviors dictate your actions. And so now that you know that the root cause of why you are so empathic and you're draining yourself because of it is because, for one, you're internalizing people's emotions. That's one part of it, which we're going to talk about that. Another part of it is that you have the mindset that this is something you should be doing, but you only feel like that so strongly is because you're suffering from some type of childhood trauma and your inner child is seeking for the validation and the love that they did not receive as a child. And so as a return, the action that you display out to the world is, I need to help everybody that's in my vicinity because I'm looking to get some type of support or some type of love in return. But it's um a fleeting approach. It's not even a real approach to take because people are constantly in and out your lives, right? So you have to address the belief that you have about how you support people. Are you supporting people to what extent? Because I'm not saying don't support people. What I'm saying is how far are you going to support people? Are you getting to the point where you're so in the weeds, you're in the darkness of a person to where now you can't even pull your own self out? They have to have a boundary in place. And we're going to talk about that as well. You have to have discernment to know when it's time to pull out. You can't save everybody. A lot of empaths have a lot of Jesus savior complexes. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Step three is set energetic boundaries. Okay, so what is an energetic boundary, right? Energetic boundary is something that you place to protect yourself from being energetically drained from people, places, and things. Some things that I do for my energetic boundaries is I'm very selective on who I give handshakes to, people who I dap off. Um, I made a video on it actually called Handshakes and I think negative entities or something like that. So definitely I'll try to post a link somewhere on this video. If not, please go look at my playlist and I have a video on that talking about dapping people off and you know gaining some type of entity in return. I am very so that's one part of it, right? Also, I am very selective on who I hug. I made a video on hugging people and negative entities. I'm not gonna go deep into that. Just watch the video and I go more in depth on what I mean by that. Another energetic boundary that I have is I practice saying no. A lot of empathic people have struggles with saying no to people. Let me be clear. No is a full sentence. What does that mean? That means when someone asks you for something or someone wants you to come out to join them at a party or a club and you say no, make sure you put a dot at the end of it because that's a sentence. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to justify yourself. If you justify yourself, what you wind up doing is you create a space for the person to rebuttal and try to manipulate or try to convince you that, oh, well, you say that you don't got to work tomorrow. Man, come out. Just get out the house. Or, man, what you mean, man? You just told me the other day If you justify yourself, they're going to try to combat that with some type of logic to try to manipulate you to get you out the house or get you from doing something that you don't want to do. So when someone asks you, hey, can you come do X and Y and Z, and you know you're not fucking with it, make sure you say no. Practice saying no. I suggest you practice saying no for a whole year straight. I did it for 3 years straight. Practice saying no. That's probably the most powerful practices I can give you on this whole entire video. Practice saying no and be comfortable with it. Because what's going to happen is when you say no, that people pleaser energy going to come in and it's going to talk to you. That voice is going to come in and say, oh man, I feel kind of bad. I feel guilty for not going. I should have went. I hope they still accept me. I just feel like a bad person. You're going to have all this negative connotation. I'm sorry, a negative commentary. That is your people pleaser. That is the part of you that's people pleasing. It wants to appease other people. Be mindful of that, okay? There are also other energetic boundaries that you can implement, but those are the three that I have for me personally that I use, okay? Step 4, I believe this is step 4. Use your discernment towards energetic vampires. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you got a set of people around your environment on a consistent basis that you know when you go around them, they drain the fuck out you. How do you know that they drain the fuck out you? If you're having a full-fledged conversation with them, prior to you talking to them, you felt good. You felt stable. Your energy was good. You wasn't irritated. You wasn't annoyed. After you finish talking to that person, you feel completely drained. Literally, you feel annoyed. You feel annoyed. You feel irritable. That's an indicator that you know that as an energy vampire in your vicinity. It's in your environment. It's in your face. So when you're aware of that, what you do is you have discernment for that, right? So if you're talking to somebody who is like that and you can't avoid them, what you do is you limit the conversation. Put a timer on your phone, put a timer on your watch, set it to 5-10 minutes. Don't extend it, because naturally, as an empath, we naturally receive energy first. That's the first thing that happens with empaths. We can just feel all the energy coming in. So you want to minimize those conversations or completely avoid them, right? Just completely avoid them. And don't feel shameful for avoiding people. You have to protect your peace. You have to protect, I don't even say that because I don't really resonate with protecting your peace, but you have to protect your energy field and your aura. That's healthy energetic boundaries. Okay. Boundaries will save you. Boundaries is what you need. So write down a list of people that you know that drains your energy in 2025, 2024, 2023, down there to 2020, 2012, anyone you could think of from the past decade to now. Anybody that you talk to, including your family members. Let's just throw that out there for you. Write down people who you feel drain you, and then come up with a plan of how you're going to navigate and how you're going to deal with them when you have to interact with them. So you don't have to just improvise. You are going to have a game plan of how to maneuver past these energy vampires. Okay. Step 5, have energetic clearing practices. This is something big because a lot of people don't have practices. Now, for me personally, I do practice tantric yoga, and I have chakra practices that I've been utilizing for years to keep my energy when I need to keep it, but also keep my energy clear. You want to keep your energy clear because the energy that energy vampires or people, places, and things that are gravitating to you, it's like sticking to your aura field. So that's why it's so important to do spiritual baths, right? um, and also to cleanse your space. So let's talk about it. Have energy clearing practices. So one of the things you can do to is, of course, clear your space wherever you stay at, your environment, your house. Sage your house 1 to 2 times a week, or however many times. There's no limit to that. Potty Santo it, do it all, do it big, do how you want to do it. Clear the space. Another thing you can do is ground yourself, right? Stay grounded. Go out in nature, get away from the cyber world, get away from the digital world, because all that's weakening your energy field anyways. A lot of radiation and all these EMF waves and all this stuff that's going on. Get out in nature and ground yourself. Get the energy stabilized in the body, right? Um, One of the big ones is to always, if you can spend a weekend by yourself after working Monday through Friday, stay at home and recharge your battery. Your home should be your recharge station for empaths or anybody who's sensitive to energy. You want to make sure you're spending a lot of time energizing yourself and replenishing yourself and recharging yourself at your home. Your home should be a safe space and it should be a sanctuary for you to recharge yourself. So utilize your home every chance you get. When you know you have to recharge, stay your ass home, right? Stay home, player. Okay. Now, this is another big one that I want to talk about. Practice. Practice when you're at the house, practice distinguishing your energy from other people's energy. So, one thing that empaths struggle with is they embody other people's emotions and they internalize it as if it is their emotions and it's not your emotions, it's someone else's emotions that you picked up. So you have to have the awareness to be able to tell your emotional energy, your energy compared to someone else's energy, and know how to release that. That is very big. Try to get into the practice and awareness of how you are currently right now in your current state of existence, how you feel vibrational wise, and then pay attention to how you feel when you go around other vibrations and how it either uplifts your energy or it dampers your energy. But the energy, right, of distinguishing your energy from other people's energy is going to feel different. So, say for instance, you're not a very anxious person, and then you get around someone who's very anxious, and then you walk away from that person, and now you start to feel anxious. You have to know that is not your energy. That is the other person's energy. And so you have to be able to just be stay, and it's not that deep. Just stay aware. Stay aware that you are aware that you're feeling anxious. This being aware of it will shift the energy naturally. Naturally. When you spend a lot of time with yourself, you should be able to know your core vibrational energy. You should know it by heart. You should be able to feel it. You should know when you're off. You should not be walking around life taking on all these different forms of energy and not knowing if it's yours or not, especially as an empath. So, what will save you is staying home for many countless nights and just getting used to, getting familiar with the energy that you uphold within yourself. So when you go around something, you could distinguish instantly. Oh, that ain't me. That's them. I don't know what they got going on. And you detach. You do not internalize it and keep it with you. We're not containers. We're not a water bottle. We're not supposed to hold on to anything. You feel it, become aware of it, stay open, and allow the energy to just release. Energy doesn't like to stay in the body. We're the ones keeping the energy present in the body. We're keeping it stored in the body like we're storage containers. Energy doesn't do that. Energy are like travelers, or let me say this, emotions are like travelers. They come and go. What we like to do is we like to say, hey, you want to stay for a while? I just made some chicken. Yeah, I got some chicken in the oven right now. Well, shit, what you want to do? Shit, I could cook up some collard greens. I got some vegetarian cornbread for you vegans out there, right? You know what I'm saying? What you trying to do? Allow your emotions to pass. You know what I'm saying? So that's very big, very big. You have to be able to distinguish your energy from other people's energy. Practice that on a consistent basis. That will save you in terms of all of these emotions that we're carrying as empaths, right? Okay. Of course, like I said earlier, taking spiritual baths. I did make a video on how to take a spiritual bath. Please watch that video because that video will help you tremendously. I do encourage you to, it depends on your environment. Like if you're around a lot of people and you just notice that it's hard for you to kind of like close your energy off, I would definitely highly recommend you take a spiritual bath at least 1 to 3 times a month, or however you deem fit. Definitely take your spiritual baths to keep your energy cleansed. Okay, this is something that I know that a lot of empaths struggle with. Going and going into large crowds. I know that's the thing for empaths. What I realized in my journey is that I started avoiding large crowds because I'm too sensitive to the environment. So I get drained fast. I feel off. I feel wacky as shit, basically, right? So what we do is we naturally just avoid these environments. But what I noticed is just a technique that I utilize now that has helped me tremendously to stay in large crowds. So this is what I want you guys to do. This is the technique. If you know that you're about to go into a large environment, or you're about to get into a large crowded area, you can do this beforehand, or you can do it when you get to the place that you're going to. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and set an intention that you are going to zip up your energy field. You're going to zip up your aura field. You're going to zip up your chakras. So what I mean by that is setting intention, right? That you are going to close up, or close down your energy field, and you are going to visualize, literally visualize a zipper zipping up your energy field, and it's closing up. It's like a damn purse or something. You're zipping it up, just zipping it up, and then you want to zip up. You want to imagine that same thing from the back. Zip up the back chakras, because you got front chakras and back chakras. You want to zip up the back and the front. Now, me personally, I zip up the back, the front, and the sides. I ain't playing, but you can do the front and the back. All right. Know that when you do this, you are closing down your energy channels. You're closing down, and it's kind of. And I'm gonna say this too, because I'm, for the people who are a little bit studious out there, you're not doing it in a way where you're actually closing down your energies, but you're doing it in a way where you're setting attention to minimize the openness that you carry as an empath. So by closing your energy off, you don't allow nothing to be received. Think about it like this: when you're around people who you are more comfortable with, who you're more safe to be around, what happens? You open up. So you're able to receive a lot, right? Go around an environment where you don't know nobody and you don't feel safe. What happens? You naturally close up, naturally. But the thing about empaths is that they're naturally open. They're naturally receptive, because your primary energy is yin energy. Yin energy is feminine energy, and feminine energy is receptive energy. So you're naturally receiving on a consistent basis. So you need to set the intention to close your energy field off. I've done this numerous times, and I'm telling you, it is a lifesaver. I put this on everything. It works. Okay. Try that out. Let me know. Drop a comment if anyone has like any issues with this. I would love to hear your stories on how you deal with large crowds, and like what you do to get through large crowds. But for anyone who practiced this practice, please let me know. Come back and check in with me. Let me know if it worked for you. You feel me? Okay. So definitely use that technique to close your channels down. All right. Zip, zip. That's it. Zip, zip. Imagine, zip, zip. Understand that this third eye of yours controls energy. So you can control the energy and tell it what you want it to do. That's the secret to your third eye. It is the control center. All right. And last but not least, this is, I believe, the sixth step, is just to understand something about the nature of empaths. And this is something I was kind of just saying in the last step. The nature of empaths are very receptive. They're very yin. Okay. And so what that means is that you are always open and able to receive. So when you're feeling, say you're talking to one of your friends and you start to feel some sensations in your body, that's because you're open. So you can feel the sensations coming to your body, and you're very sensitive, because we're talking about energy. We're energetic beings. So everything's energy. So the more that you work on your energy field, the more sensitive you are. For me personally, I was never like this. Never like this. Coming up, I was never feeling other people's emotions and feelings. Never was that person. When I got deep into helping people heal and help people with their energy fields and working on my chakras and all these things, I became more sensitive. So then I had to develop practices to maintain my energy field and my energy body, right? So understand that empaths are naturally feminine. It's a natural yin trait or quality. It's polarized in that energy. So to also help counterbalance it is you want to start utilizing practices that are more yang. So, for instance, I highly recommend if you don't, start working out. Don't go to the gym or do calisthenics or something. Start exercising. Why? Because exercising is more of a yang principle. You want to start putting more yang energy into your body because yang energy is more emissive. Yang energy is more push. Um, yin energy is more pull in. So yang energy can actually deflect or create a field where energy can't just come into you naturally like that. So you do more yang practices such as building up your fire, doing something that kind of goes against the grain. So it's like, for instance, like I said, exercising. That's a perfect way to develop more masculine energy. Another thing that you can do is go out in nature, get out in the sun. All right. That sun up there is the largest energy source that we have. Allow it to solarize your energy body because it's a masculine. I could say it's a masculine and feminine energy, but we just use masculine for the sake of the context. A masculine energy that could come in and solarize and, basically build up more of that yang energy. Another thing you can do, I forgot the name of the book, but it's something that deals with eating macrobiotic food. Okay. Macrobiotic food has a lot of yang energy in it. So understand that everything that we do has a yin and a yang energy component to it. Everything in life has a yin and a yang to it. It's called the law of gender. Certain foods are yin and certain foods are yangs. Like certain foods such as meat, meat is more yang. Fruits are more yin. So eat more food that have more yang energy in it. That's going to help to polarize and bring more yang energy to the body so you can have a stronger constitution. It won't be so receptive, like I said, and be more yang and more emissive. So I'm going to try to put the book in this video so you guys can get the book or what have you. So definitely, if you can incorporate more yang or macrobiotic foods in your diet, that will also support you. And of course, like I said, once again, ground yourself. Grounding is probably one of the most important things you can do to keep yourself, let's say, depolarized and more in a center state. You don't want to be too far to the right. You don't want to be too far to the left. You want to be centered. And I think that's it, my friends. I think I've covered everything. I think I'm about to get off this mic. Okay. So please, if this video resonated with you, I would love for you guys to put a gem at the bottom of the captions. The little gem emoji. Let me know that you done made it to the part of this video, and please drop a comment. Um, um, I do comment on all of my comments. I definitely reply back. We have an amazing community. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my community. Shout out to y'all one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really fucks with y'all. So definitely for any newcomers and people who have been rocking with me for this long, please drop something. It ain't gotta be a gem, but drop a fire flame. You know what I'm saying? Something. You know what I'm saying? And I got some more heat for y'all. So I need y'all to stay tuned. Right? And on that note, I got to go. Peace.